What an intro. Like, come on, guys. If that don't get you pumped up on a Tuesday night, what will?
It's gotta.
It is
It's
your boy,
gotta.
Eli Rax. Listen, guys.
Yo.
There's some crazy stuff, man. What's going on with the Rangers, man? I gotta get into this first, man. It's
Dude,
2-2.
I'm heated.
They were
We're
doing
up
so
2-0.
freaking well.
We would have signed up for 2-1, right?
Yeah.
We would have signed up for a lead. The Rangers, New York has a playoff team, and that's what we need to be pumped about.
Yes.
It's the right playoff team. So let's get it.
And listen, let's say this too.
Yeah,
they're very physical. When I saw the first couple games of the Rangers, this is the most physical I ever seen them. If they could just carry this over and just hold on, because Igor, that one goal, it wasn't right when they shot up one. Now they have two. But man, like if they win this thing, that's how they gotta be. And I really do. They hope they win, but they gotta be physical, man, and be on the attack. That's New York. That's what Joe Judge was supposed to bring here, man. This is awesome to see. You know what I mean? So I'm excited. But 2-2, what's going on, Speed?
Yeah, man. They coming out lifeless in the second period. I'm not loving the vibes right now. They brought all the energy in the first period. It's like they wasted it all. Let's regroup. Yeah. 2-2. Let's regroup. They gotta get the shit together, and they gotta get the puck towards the net again. Let's go, boys. Wake up. Wake up.
You know, it seems like they're playing like
they're a little tight now
because I'm still trying to learn this thing. Are they playing like a half-court press in a way? Like I think they need to be up on that side of the ice there, and then like a full court type.
He wants a forecheck. He wants the forecheck. He wants
the
full court press.
I was like, come on, like if you want to be that physical, go at it.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Like there's no time to take off. See,
when the Rangers
made it 2-0, and that was it.
Yeah,
like,
when the Rangers
they took off.
Yeah, when the Rangers start slumping, it's when they're not pressing and not forechecking. It's called forechecking. When you're trying to get on the other team, make the other team make mistakes in their own end. And when they don't do that, that's when shit goes wired, the wayside. They got to get their shit together again and focus. There's 6 minutes left in the period. I'll keep updating you guys on what's going on in a big playoff game. Game 1. I mean, this is the revival, people. We came here to bring you New York sports, to bring back New York sports. The Rangers are in the playoffs. We're going to be talking Giants mostly today, but I'm going to be dabbling in some Ranger talk while we're going through the whole thing.
Forgive me. I forgot to give the whole freaking intro. Like, forgive me.
Yeah, I said something.
Did we forget? Did we forget something?
I
forgot the intro. But can you do me a favor? Because I'm not feeling it because it's a tied game. Yeah. I'm trying to get back in there. I'm a little depressed. I'm a little upset about this.
That's fair.
Is there someone else that can help me out with this?
I just wish there was somebody we could call on to. Who? Oh my goodness!
Oh my god!
Yo!
Sam,
let's go!
That's Sam! All right, listen, guys. I'm excited here, guys. If you don't know who Mr. Sam the Prince is, can we remind him? Can we start this?
Let's show him
let's
real
show
quick.
Him, man.
Run the tape. Run the tape.
With the 5th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants select Kayvon Thibodeaux, defensive end, Oregon.
I love the hand gesture too. Kayvon
Prince is
Thibodeaux
joining us, and guys, I'm pumped. Woo! Let's go, baby. How we feeling? Listen, guys, can we give the intro to Sam here because I need to get pumped up here.
Yeah.
Sam, what you got, man? It's all yours, baby. Give out the intro.
All right. Thank you guys for being on tonight with New York Revival. And now for your starting lineup for the New York Revival. Your point guard and your fearless leader, bringing all good vibes from all the way up north from Staten Island, Eli Rax.
Go, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Let's go.
From Washington Township, the one with all the knowledge in the land, the man himself, Spiro.
Speed. Let's go. Let's go.
He might be short. He may not be the tallest in the land, but he's always going to bring his A game. The shooting guard from Middletown, Jefe.
Let's go.
Well done, Sam. Well
and then,
done.
guys, you know who this is giving us the intro of a lifetime, Mr. Sam Prince. Let's go, baby.
What's good, Sam?
Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for your time, blessing us, Sam. I do appreciate you, man. I just got a couple questions, man, but I'm gonna go around the room first. First off, this is how we got to do it. El Jefe, how was your weekend?
Amazing, phenomenal.
The Giants had a phenomenal draft, and I think we owe Sam. Like I said from the beginning, when I saw that clip of him in the office with Dable and Shane and Eli freaking Manning, and I'm like,
the way Dable was looking at him too.
This kid is good luck. I just felt like he was good luck. And then there you are up at the podium I see a license plate guy in the front row going crazy for you. And I see everyone going nuts. And then we get that pick. And it just you've just been good vibes for the Giants ever since I saw your face. So just stick around. Just keep doing Giants.
We need you.
Thank you.
Totally agree. Speed, what you got?
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I was at Jeff's place to watch the draft on Thursday night. It was awesome. Friday, Saturday, whirlwind. I mean, we just got good vibes the whole way around. We're trusting this new front office, this new organization, essentially, with drafting these new players. And there's some picks that we were questioning, some picks we weren't, but I felt good overall. Sam led us into it, like I said, right off the bat, and I'm ready for the new Giants, man. And then they cleared house afterwards too. I'm just like, all right, let's go. This is it. This is new Giants. Let's go.
And listen, guys, I'm going to omit my turn to the guest of honor here. Sam, how was your weekend, brother? Take us through the emotion, the feel. Just give us everything. How was your weekend, brother?
Beyond anything I could ever dream. Got to announce Kayvon Thibodeaux. Okay? Kayvon Thibodeaux, the number one consensus overall pick going into 2021 season. And then, we have the 2022 draft. He doesn't go to 1 or 2. He's slipping. I'm like, oh my God, we got to get him. And I said in the past, I don't know if you guys may have heard this. I said to John Mayer, if he is on the board, I would take him in a heartbeat.
Sprint.
And listen, when they handed you the card with that name, did you run towards the podium as soon as possible? That had to be.
You knew.
So sorry to interrupt, but they handed me the card 2 minutes before we went up, me and Commissioner Goodell, and I was like,
yeah. That's why you were so hyped.
Listen, that is awesome, man. Just do me a favor. How did you? A couple questions here. How was it actually getting the high five, Kayvon Thibodeaux? Like, as far as did he feel that energy? Did he pull you to the side and was like, man, I love it? Like, what did he say after that? Because that was just awesome to see.
So Kayvon and we had that moment on stage. I said, welcome to New York. He said, thanks, man. Appreciate it. It was very small talk on stage, and we celebrated. Then we took the picture, and then I went one way, he went the other. Unfortunately, I have not talked to Kayvon since, but someone from his team has been in touch with me, so I will get in touch with him very soon.
Awesome.
You're so big time, dude.
Yeah,
you're big time. His people are gonna call my people.
Yeah, my people are gonna get in touch with his people.
So listen, you anybody has a question? Because I can.
I want to know. Let's go back. Let's go way back into early Sam Prince life. How'd you become a Giants fan? When did you become a Giants fan? Give us the whole background here.
So my whole family are Giants fans. We bleed blue to the day we all die. Mm-hmm. So my grandpa, Ben Tabs, has had season tickets to the Giants for over 50 years.
Wow. Let's go.
It's been bleeding blue. My first game was the 2011 season when the Giants won Super Bowl 46.
Not a bad season. Season to come in.
The season that I really, really got on the Giants football became a fanatic was 2014. And unfortunately, the Giants, it's been all downhill from there. But hopefully
Hey, look, can I just interrupt real quick? Chris Kreider, 3, 2, let's go, Rangers. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
What a way to bring back the revival. 3-2 Rangers. Let's go.
Now, all Sam knows is good vibes. Sam,
you're bringing the good vibes as always, man.
He's going to come back. He's coming back on the revival. I'm telling you that much.
Absolutely.
Every
Jeff,
playoff
you got any
game.
questions for him as well?
Jeff, what you got, bro?
I mean, all I got to say is I don't know what the first half of your life has been like because your story is pretty crazy. All I'll say is it's about to get really, really good. and like what has happened to you in the last several days is literally what dreams are made of. And it's happening for you as we speak every day. So I'm just happy for you. And you you deserve it all. And I'm just happy you're here with us, man. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Absolutely. And guys, Sam Prince will be back. And guess what, guys? We gave him keys to the show as well. So here's what we're gonna do. He's gonna be on the next show with us for about an hour. So in the next couple weeks, guys, he's gonna be the New York Revival host. Yeah, we're gonna talk about his journey. We're gonna talk about everything. We're gonna talk about, most importantly, Giants football. So guys, you want to stay tuned for that. He has the keys to this place. Come on, all our guests gets the keys to Revival. This is his platform now.
I got an easy one for him real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Giant of all time?
Eli Manning.
Oh, okay.
And you met? Oh, did you meet him this week too? How's this week going for you? Jesus.
Jeez.
There's
a Hollywood week.
Great guy.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's just the best. Number 10 in our hearts. No, number 10 in the book. Number 1 in our hearts. We love Eli. We're big Eli podcast here. And wait, I see my man's wearing an Andrew Thomas jersey. That is class all the way. Lineman jerseys don't get enough love. And I love that, Sam. I love it, baby.
Straight class.
So
let's go.
Before we get Sam out of here, well, not to say out of here, but before we just put him backstage just for a little bit, Sam, there's a special guest we want you to introduce. We forgot to tell the people this. Forgive me. I told you I'm out of it today, so this is your show to introduce. Who's the special guest?
We have the one, the only, from New York Giants. He's now covering soccer, as they call it, across the pond, football. He's also SNY, but he's most famous for being a Giant. Once a Giant, always a Giant. The man, the legend himself, Brandon London.
Let's go.
Yo, with that intro, I wish I wasn't an undrafted free agent. Oh man, I would love to run to the podium, but Coach Mike Sullivan called me and told me I would be a New York Giant, man. One of those back alley deals, man. Sam, what's up, my guy? What's up, my guy?
I am doing fantastic, Brandon.
Yeah, man. Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on. Honestly, man.
Yeah,
thank you so much for your time. And Sam, you got any questions for Brandon before we put you backstage just for a little bit, brother?
All right, Brandon. So you've been covering Giants football, and now you've been covering SNY. How'd you get into soccer, as they call it, football across the pond?
The New York Football Giants, man. Like my rookie year, 07, we went over and we played at Wembley. Remember, I was still I was practice squad and all, but it was still London and London. That's where the birth of London and London went down. And there's that picture with me and Kevin Boss. We're out there at practice, and whoever that photographer was, shout out to that photographer, because I'm not Strahan, I'm not Eli, I'm not Sean O'Hara. He just saw London and was like, "Oh, let me capture that." And I've used that for a couple Throwback Thursdays or whatever, because we practice at Chelsea's Cobham training facility. And so I'm like, you know what? I played FIFA a couple times. This dude, Didier Drogba, he's a beast on there. So, we got a chance to meet some of the players. So I said, I'm going to just be a Chelsea FC fan. And then that got me into going to you guys been to Legends, the football factory in Legends? Yes. 33rd. Absolutely. And I started watching Chelsea soccer games with the Chelsea Blues, NYC Blues. Became a fan. Was a part of the LA Chelsea Blues, was a part of the CFC Rockies. When I lived in Denver, they contacted me, asked me if I wanted to, do some content for them, and now I do American content for Chelsea FC. So
that's dope,
crazy.
Man.
Yeah,
that's cool, dude.
What a world.
Man. Yeah, man. That's how it all got going. So that's how I was saying. We were in the all the viewers. We were in the green room, the backstage of the New York Revival, and all. We were just chatting, having a good time. I was telling Sam, man, like, go your wildest dreams, especially with this TV stuff, bro. Go, go, and just remember, who cares what they say about you? He cares. You're the one on camera right now, bro. You're the entertainment. You're the king's jester. So remember that. Like, they pay to see you. They pay to see you. Remember that.
Awesome, man.
And
awesome,
Sam,
man.
I want to keep you on just for a little bit, because I want to go over a couple of things, and I just want to get your reaction to a couple of things, if that's okay. And also Brandon London as well. So we had the first ever annually that we're going to have is the People's Mock Draft of the New York Revival. Now, we had a competition where people could pick to see where their draft picks fell in place, then they can win cash money. So, Speed, take us through. Can anyone win?
Dude, so first of all, we did the top 10 and 0 for 10. 0 for 10. We started out, well, my man Monty started out with Aiden Hutchinson. As soon as Aiden Hutchinson didn't go number 1, the whole draft board was gone, dude. The whole draft board was gone. Nate, my man, went with he thought the Lions were going to go with the guy that we got at number 7, Evan Neal. And I mean, it was a shit show after that. It was an absolute shit show. Big Smooth, J-Dub, Marcel. I'm sorry, my man Marcel. He picked Stingley to the Giants, which got quite the reaction out of Giants fans. We were not happy about that pick. 0 for 5 right there. Then you got K Sexy. He had Charles Cross going to Carolina, wrong guard. It was just a shit show. Pest, me, Sergeant Mayhem, we went 0 for 10, 0 for 10. Nobody won a damn dollar. So be better next year, boys. Be better.
It was a really good year to offer cash for correct guesses.
And look, that just goes to show nobody knows what the hell they're talking about. So everybody, calmate, tranquilo in the comments on Twitter, on social media, because they're offering you free money and you still couldn't get it
right.
So
no cover charge.
It's all gonna be okay. Woo-sa.
Exactly. Which is the entire point. It was like, all right, if you guys think you're this good, we're gonna give you money. And they were 0 for 10. But shout out to everybody that participated.
Yeah,
we're gonna do this annually.
Sure.
So put your skills to the test with this draft here, man. Because next year we're gonna do it again, and we're gonna sweeten the pot just a little bit.
I will say this year was probably one of the most uncertain years in recent memory. Nobody knew what was happening from pick 1 to pick 10 to pick 100. It was a shit show, and it sucked that nobody won money. We wanted to give you guys free money. That just goes to like Brandon said. Those mock drafts all meant nothing. All meant nothing.
Absolutely. So, guys, what I want to get into, man, I want to get into a nice segment. It's a nice game we called Elated or Devastated. But before we get into Elated or Devastated, Jeff, drop that for me, please.
Elated or Devastated.
And what this game does is we're going to go through a couple topics, and you tell us if you was elated, you was happy about it, or you was devastated about it. And I want to start with a little bit of Brandon London here and Sam, because you guys are the guest of honor. So were you elated or devastated by the Giants not picking up the 5th-year option? And I'm going to start with Brandon London. Elated or devastated?
I mean, I was elated in the sense of that's money. That's a lot of money you're committing to. You're talking about already being committed to a bunch of money that Joe Shane wants to free up. You see his approach when it comes to things. So it's not me being disrespectful or anything to Daniel Jones or anything. I'm just talking like I'm looking at it or trying to look at it from a Joe Shane manner to where I need to free money up. I don't need to tie up more money into something that I don't think is a sure bet right now or a sure thing. So he's going to be on a prove it type situation. And we've seen a lot of quarterbacks in the past on prove it deals go out and prove it. So that's why I say this is Daniel Jones. This is the year for him to just be like, F it to everybody and just go out there and slang that thing. That's absolutely. That's what I want him to do.
Sam, what you got?
Well, Brandon,
elated, devastated. What you got?
I'm elated, and Brandon really could not have said it better than me. Look, in the past we've been saying, "Oh, there's just so many excuses for Daniel," but there's no more excuses this way. It's a head coach that's offensive minded. When was the last time he had that? And when he had 2 good tackles, Neal and Thomas, and weapons, he's never had this. And if he can't get it done with that, he's not going to win the Giants Super Bowl. And if you're not going to win the Giants a Super Bowl at quarterback, then why are you the quarterback of the New York Giants?
Wow.
Wow.
Let's do that. I like that. And Speed, what you got?
I mean, listen, I'm going to have to say elated myself because, listen, he's going to have to go out. It's a prove-it year. He's got all the weapons now. There's no more excuses like we all said. I think that Daniel Jones has been given nothing previous to this year. He's had some weapons last year. They all got injured. And Andrew Thomas, his left tackle got hurt. Like, what else? Like, Saquon looked like a shell of himself last year. Now, I think that Saquon year 2, after that devastating injury, we're going to see more peak Saquon here. And hey, maybe he's got a hole to run through behind Evan Neal this time. How about that? Like, maybe he's got Glanowski now. He's got an actual offensive line to run behind for possibly the first time ever. Let's go back to Penn State days. He didn't have a good line back then either. So, we got Daniel Jones with a good running back behind him, healthy cast, hopefully. You throw in Wan'Dale Robinson, who we're going to talk about later, and I like what they're doing. Hopefully Toney can stay on the field this year and show out, because the weapons are there. Daniel Jones stay in the field, prove everybody wrong. Prove us all wrong.
Please. Yeah, elated. And by the way, Sam, like, your picture is just going to be with us forever, because this is going to, I don't know, in the upper right hand, you can see if you're elated, you get this. But it's the Giants hedging their bet, and it's brilliant, and it's the right thing to do, because Daniel Jones clearly hasn't shown enough. He's had plenty of obstacles, but at the end of the day, you either produce or you didn't, and it's a business. So you're at the end of your rookie deal. So you can't sign him long term if he hasn't done it yet. You don't have to look further than the Browns and Baker Mayfield for a team who completely regrets extending the 5th-year option. And if Daniel Jones winds up being out of this world good this year, then you have a great problem on your hands, and you can franchise him for, I think, 33, and they will gladly do that with all the cap space if that's what they need to do while they work on a long-term deal. It's the right move. Ever since Shane and Dable came on board, it seems like they're making more right moves than anything else. So I'm elated. It was damn right the right thing to do.
So really quick before y'all go. There's 4 of y'all. I'm just gonna ask you really quickly, and all you can do is say the name. Can't say why. All you can do is say the name. So you're GM. There's a water gun to your head. And someone's about to blow your head with a water gun.
You're about to get soaked.
Jeff, you're about to get soaked. Jeff, Baker Mayfield or Daniel Jones? Go.
Daniel Jones.
Vibes. Go.
Daniel Jones.
Mr. GHF, go.
Baker.
Sam Prince, go.
Baker.
Oh.
What about you?
I mean,
same situation.
Break the tie. Break the tie.
Break the tie.
Brandon, who you got?
I'm Pat Sajak, man. I'm the game show.
That ends in a draw. He's been watching too much soccer. He's letting it end in a draw.
I just wanted to know. No, sometimes y'all just got to put people in a spot sometimes.
Fair.
And be like, all right, you made sense with that point. I never even thought about it like that. So I'm thinking like everybody, sometimes you have to think, not as a fan, but as Joe Shane.
Absolutely.
He is in a predicament right now, and I'm not just saying that trying to, I'm just saying he is in a predicament. Can we all agree? So I just wanted to see what y'all would say.
That was a really good question, and it was interesting because I didn't know what my answer would be, and I was surprised with my answer. But the water gun was on my head. What am I going to do?
You got to make that choice.
I think I would have made it without the water gun, but that's another like we could dive into that, but that's another topic.
Eli, you're not even. Eli's not even a big DJ guy. I mean, I've been on the fence with him because that's all he's shown. Like he's has flashes and then he sucks and he does something stupid and then he flashes. So like that's why I've been on the fence the whole time. I haven't seen enough to be like, yeah, that's it. I'm not going to bang the table over him.
Well, what's funny is I've been the biggest DJ probably supporter of us 3, and I picked Baker just now.
Yeah, and you picked so go figure. That's why it was a good question. That's a great question.
But you know what though? Which is why you don't pick up the option, right? Because again, I think there's so many question marks to what he's capable of doing. If he's great, then you franchise tag him at $7 million more. The Giants have about $90 million to $100 million in cap space next year, so that's like a drop in the bucket for him. So with that being said, man, the Giants are doing the right thing at this point. You know what I mean? Somebody put TK, really?
Sam is better than Baker.
I really, if I had to pick, I will pick Daniel Jones. I think his ceiling's a tad bit higher than Baker Mayfield. We've seen the Baker Mayfield project, right? But we won't dive into that fully because Brandon London said quick reaction. So we'll do that. Let's do another segment.
Sam, wait, hold on. Sam's got something to say here.
I got one thing.
Okay, Sam.
If Baker Mayfield gets released by the Browns and you're Joe Shane, do you go pick him up for a prove-it 1-year deal?
Damn.
I don't know if you need to. If you have DJ
and
you have Tyrod Taylor, why do you need Baker Mayfield who can't throw?
I just think I am not a big Baker supporter. I think he's a great guy. I'm not, but I would love DJ to see, but I don't think he will. But I want him to be wrong. But I think it's just something that the Giants should maybe think about, maybe not do, just think about?
I think
listen,
Baker is more of a system guy. Not to
If
say
he's
Daniel
healthy-
Jones isn't, but
if
I
he's
think he's
healthy, we'll
more
see.
of the product of the system than the guy putting the team on his back and running. And what makes Daniel Jones a little bit better to me is that we've seen Daniel Jones make that one-handed catch to try to put the team on his back. We've seen him trying to go into the end zone and get concussed. Like, we've seen him do these things to put the team on his back for a W. Not saying Baker Mayfield can't. It's just it's more of the product of the system to me. To me, it's just certain things he got to do according to the coach. He won't do it, but that's just me.
John
I
White.
can't believe we're even having this conversation.
I know. It's wild.
I know.
It
was,
I'm gonna move
not
on.
even about talent. We're talking money. Like, they don't have the money. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
can't even enter. Like,
They don't have the money.
Even,
And
Yeah, you're right.
money.
I
The
was
money
just-
is just not there to entertain that.
Next year,
absolutely
next
right.
year will, and that would be interesting. Like,
then
what if
just
what
draft
if,
and go with Tyrod for a year then? You know?
Yeah, but who's to say that we're going to finish in the top 10? If DJ has a decent year, you're looking at a top 15 pick.
Which he will.
That's not going to get
But
you
he'll-
Bryce
Neal,
Young.
he's gonna have a better year, and we're all gonna
Right.
say DJ by mid-season.
He's
Look,
about to ball
he's
out.
gonna-
Man.
He's gonna
About to
prove us
ball out.
all wrong.
About to ball out.
I hope
Get
so.
him, Sam.
let's-
Get him, Sam.
He's
Let's-
gonna prove
let's
all
Go
wrong.
off, Sam. Go off,
But
Sam.
Go ahead.
My whole thing is with money is like, I know this is a little off topic here. I was just thinking about this today. James Bradberry. What do the Giants do with him?
Hold
Oh,
on.
wait, hey,
Let's drop this because that was the next
yeah,
thing.
good lead-in, buddy.
Drop it there. Good leader. That was good,
This
man.
guy
He's
is
got a
so
job here.
polished and professional.
Elated or devastated?
As you guys know, James Bradberry has been on the trading block. Man, this has been a long drawn out. We're trying to alleviate some sort of cap situation. I do believe he's owed $12 million if he stays, but the Giants haven't really done anything to try to can't reconstruct him because we actually done it already. But can they give him a signing bonus? There's so many things that can happen, but there seems to be no trading partner. So, Sam, seeming that you're here, man, I want you to start. Then I'm gonna start with Brandon London, and we'll work our way around the room. But Sam, what you got, man? What's your thoughts on James Bradberry? Are you elated or devastated?
I'm devastated because he produced in year one, but then, I mean, he's still producing, but not nearly not as high level. I mean, you're just seeing the age of a quarterback slow him down. And, you know, he's going into a contract season, and who goes to show that he's going to re-sign with the Giants? You know, if he doesn't re-sign and the Giants are a bottom 15 team this year, you know, granted, they will be better than last year, but why won't you trade him and get something out of it? Yes, the secondary is going to be much worse without him, but don't you want to at least get a third rounder to try to pair up 2/3 for a second rounder? Maybe so we could do something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I
hear you. I hear you. Yeah,
I think it's his contract that he's getting paid a lot, and I think that's.
Hold on. Before we go, BL, elated or devastated, brother?
I mean, I'm elated that he's still here. Like, there's Adoree Jackson is good, but after that, we don't have a CB2 if Adoree is the CB1.
Yep.
How do you just give up? So, like Joe Shane said, there are contingency plans that we can try and put in place, and they've had constant contact with JB's agent. And if they could have got some sort of high value product for him, they would have made that move by now, because you don't want to just not just dumping him because of the player he is anymore, but dumping because of that contract in which we have no money. What did it say, old Martin? You ain't got no job, Tommy. You broke, dog. Like, we broke out here. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't got no
So
job.
So it's nothing, like he said, he's nothing. He said nothing, but they've had nothing but praises. And just think, JB in a Wink Martindale system, you're not so much asking him to be locked down man to man. You're asking Wink to be creative, to apply pressure, so your corners don't have to hold up for that long. In that sense, he can use his veteran experience, his eyes, to jump routes, route recognition in that sense. So if they could have got something, and then nothing against the using the third round pick on Cordell Flott out of LSU, but what, 6 foot, 6'1", 175. That's
Skinny as
not
hell.
NFL. That may not be, and I'm not going to say no to anyone or put limits on anyone. That may not be NFL CB1 ready. If you're a first-year GM trying to turn a program around, you're not going to put that burden on a player who's that small in the NFL. This big, like, people get nicked up, people get hurt, you know. So in that sense, I was elated, and I'm hoping that the contingency plans can be put in place to where he stays there, and maybe that's the contract you eat for the year, because you're going to need that for your defensive coordinator and your overall defense.
Hit the nail on the head as far as that. I'm elated as well. And forgive me, guys, if I've jumped. Forgive me, but I'm elated, man. Again, it's once he leaves, who's the CB1? Who's the CB2? Once they start to shift some things around, right? This is going to be a contract year that they eat. They're going to eat this thing. The fact that they still have him on the roster shows that there's no trading partner out there, so there's no value for him. So nobody wants to take on that money as well. And they have the money, some teams, right? But at this point, guys, I think you got to keep him here, eat that contract, and let's hope that we can sign him to another one while we try to get some more people, hopefully, in the draft to kind of replace him. But at this point, leave him here. Let's see what he can do. If he's a guy that could be in mid-season where you could trade him for a pick, sure. I'm sure people will do that as well, but I really don't think it'll happen. I think he'll just be here until that contract runs out and kind of see what happens from there. But I'm elated to have him because we're already thin at that position anyway. So you might as well keep that guy that's going to know it. And everybody's like, well, he kind of fell off. Every play that was a big play last season, don't forget he made it up with an interception. Like, a lot of people forget that as well. James Bradberry could ball still. I don't think he missed a step, in my opinion. But again, that's just my opinion on it. But what do you guys think, man? What you got, Jefe?
I'd like to look at the defense a lot more with Bradberry out there, and we're finally getting stronger in the trenches and some linebackers coming in. So, like, I don't want the secondary to fall apart once we finally start to get it together up front. So I would love to see Bradberry stick around for one more year if they can make it work, just because it opens up another gaping hole in the defense if he walks. So it's another problem if he leaves. So if they can find a trading partner and it's a good deal, whatever, I get it. But as far as this year, if you want to be competitive, he helps you be competitive. So give me Bradberry for one more year.
I agree. Speed, you got anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm going to say Elated. The way I look at it is, if you still want to trade him, you can, because there's going to be a cornerback that's going to go down between now and the start of the season. So if you're going to find a team that is a contender that might get a little antsy and give you a 3rd round pick that you might have been looking for. Worst case scenario, you have James Bradberry as your CB1 going into the next season, and that ain't that bad, man. That ain't that bad. Flat, he may be a guy going forward, but he's not going to be that guy this year. He's got to put on NFL weight. He's got to develop. He's not an NFL ready guy like Brandon alluded to. Ready. You got Aaron Robinson, who's kind of a slot guy slash outside guy, but we don't know yet. He hasn't really. Basically, this year is Aaron Robinson's rookie year too. And then you got a bunch of slot guys in nickel, and got Jackson. But
Darnay Holmes or Darius Williams coming back from injury. Yeah, I got that's what you're saying. What you're going is there are no proven CB1s. That's all you have to say right there. And you're trying to turn a program around on a defense, new D coordinator. He's going to want some guys that can hold up on the back end.
Absolutely.
And
listen, maybe somebody bites for a 3rd round pick if their CB1 goes down, and then you deal with that at that point. But I say stick with him. Try and make it work. And listen, guys, he's going to turn he's not young, but he's only turning 29 in August. Maybe sign him to rework his deal for another 2 years, worst case, if he wants to stick around. Keep him here till 31 and then deal with it in 2 years.
Sam likes it.
Spiro, if that happened, I would be elated, but I'm going into this season being a little realistic here that he won't be on the roster. If I want him on the roster, knowing that he will be on the roster for more than 2022, because if he's going to walk, then I'm trading him.
Fair.
I need to make sure he's going to stay, and I want to somehow get a team-friendly 2-3 year deal with him. That would make me so elated right there.
I dig it. That's an
option. I think if we have a good cornerbacks, the rest of this defense is going to be phenomenal.
Real quick, can I sum it up real quick? I look at him. Y'all play spades. He's a deuce of spades.
Yeah,
Deuce
fair,
of spades.
fair.
Because for Joe Shane, like NY Giants 1974 just said, if someone's CB1 goes down, he goes like Stephen Gilmore or AJ Boye or one of those guys who are up there. There's obviously you can put the deuce of spades down, but the big joker, the little joker still gets you. But the ace of spade can't touch you. King of spade, queen of spade, jack of spade can't touch you. So hold on to that deuce of spade.
Yes.
You just got to play it at the right time when you're playing spades right there.
Smart
nice
man.
And nice
we're gonna get
analogy.
some
He's
spades
smart.
going too, man.
He's not just good looks. This guy, he's got brains too.
So
But
guys,
Sam
I want to do one more for elated or devastated, and then Sam, we're just gonna put you in backseat just for a bit because we're gonna break down a couple things. But guys, I want to do. Give me a drop first, Jefe. My apologies.
You're not tired of this already?
Elated or devastated?
Guys, we got elated or devastated on Wan'Dale Robinson. Now, guys, some Pitt fans think that is a reach. But, guys, let's go around the room, man. I love the pick, but that's just my opinion. It'll get to me in a sec. But I want to start with Sam on this one. Sam, what you got? Wan'Dale Robinson. Is that a reach?
I'm
Elated or
elated.
Yeah,
I
Tell him.
love this pick. This gives the Giants insurance in the wide receiver position. Now, I'm not saying he's a wide receiver one because the Giants don't have a wide receiver one. Because King Galladay, he hasn't proved it with the Giants. Actually, Andrew Thomas has more touchdowns than him and Darius Toney combined. And I love AT. Got his jersey right here.
Yeah,
but if you think about it, the Giants, look, Sterling Shepard, as much as I love Sterling, let's be realistic. I don't know if he's going to be on the team in 2023 because he can't stay healthy for a full year. I hope he does. And Darius Slayton was on the trade block. And Toney, we don't even know if he's quote-unquote bought into football. That's a problem with them. So, you got to have this, I don't say quote-unquote insurance for Kadarius Toney. But if the Giants decide to trade him, which I don't think they should, but if you have Robinson and Toney,
look out.
and Brandon, I'm gonna save you for last 1 second because I as a wide receiver in the league, we got to get you a little more thoughts on it. But I'm gonna save you for last if that's okay. Jefe, what you got?
I'll just say I get why some people overreacted, and it's Twitter. People are going to overreact because he's small. They don't love that pick. They think there were better options available. Well, guess what? You're not a GM. You're not a professional scout, right? So I didn't overreact because I told myself I wouldn't. So I went into the draft with that mindset. I did some research on this guy, watched some film on him, and then started dreaming about the ways you can use him, Kadarius Toney, pre-snap motion, these two guys flying around the field. And I'm like, holy shit, this offense is going to look so different with dynamic playmakers like that. And the league is changing. It's not just like big bodies colliding anymore. You have athletic. It's like, the NBA changed. You don't have like your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions like the big man like they used to. It's a lot of like athletes, right? And you make a team. And football is slowly becoming that. You see it with linebackers and safeties. You have these hybrid athletes who can do a lot of things. And that's what's happening on offense too. All the rules go to benefit the offense. So I'm not worried about his size because speed kills. He's tough as hell. I saw him take a lot of licks in college and he got right up, dude. And I know these are bigger dudes in the NFL, but the guy's tough. He can play, and you're adding another playmaker. Exactly like Sam said, there's not a ton of security in that position on this roster. So give me this kid all day. I'm elated.
Awesome. Speak.
I mean, listen, you have, we're talking about size first off. You know what height Cole Beasley and Isaiah McKenzie are in Buffalo? 5'8". And they did pretty damn good last year. Let's say that. Tyreek Hill, is he a big guy? Kafka didn't have a big guy in Tyreek Hill. He made him look good last year too. He's a passing game coordinator. These guys, this guy, Wan'Dale Robinson, I hate when people say gadget player just because they're small. He put up 10 catches for 104 yards in the bowl game, and that's not gadget. That's not gadget. He could catch the ball. He could be a wide receiver. The problem is people see that he could run out of the backfield too, and they're like, he's a gadget guy. You gotta be crazy. No, he's versatile, and that's a good thing. lastly, we don't know exactly what offense Stable and Kafka are running here. So if you thought that maybe Pickens might have been a better pick, or Sky Moore, or these other guys that you wanted in your mock draft, you don't know what this offense consists of, and you don't know what Dable and Kafka wanted. They clearly took this guy at 43 because they loved him. They did not want to lose out on him. Couple that with the 2 trade backs to what got to him, and I think the value was fantastic there. Was it a reach? You could debate it all day whether he could have been picked in the 3rd round or 2nd round. He was going in the 3rd round in most mocks anyway. So save me your bullshit, because I think Wan'Dale is going to be a star in New York. Like us, my boy Sam alluded to before, watching Toney and Wan'Dale on the same offense, that's gonna be scary. It's gonna be scary for the offensive defensive coordinators, man, to keep you up at night.
Well, let me say this.
Let's go.
Let me say this.
Elated.
I just really think that the game is evolving. Like, as far as the receivers, as far as the Megatrons, the Plaxico Burress, the Julio Joneses, the Kenny Gallaudays of the world, right? Those big receivers is just for the now. Now we're starting to see the Odell Beckhams. Now we're starting to see the Kadarius Toneys. Now we're starting to see the Wan'Dale Robinson. This guy plays bigger than what he is. We're starting to see the Tyreek Hill, Cole Beasley. We're starting to see these smaller, compact receivers go out there and actually kill. And with Wan'Dale Robinson, he plays bigger than his height. The guy is a machine. He's thick too. Like, this guy also, he's very strong. So it's not a reach, in my opinion. I just think that it's just the evolution of the game. Of course, Brandon can break that down, but he's not. I think he could be a great slot number 1, and I think with Kadarius Toney in time, in my opinion, with watching so much what I could watch on Kadarius Toney, I think he could be a wide out 1. And of course, Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think that Wan'Dale can play the slot. Kadarius Toney can play the 1 if push come to shove. But guys, it wasn't a reach at all. I really think it was great value for a great receiver that plays big than what his height is really capable of doing. Great route runner, great speed, agility. This guy has everything, man. I'm elated. I'm really, really elated to have him on his roster. And I can't wait to see what he does. But before we go, Sam, any other last thoughts, man? If you don't mind, brother, because we're gonna break it down here with Mr. London. If that's all right, brother. Please wait backstage, please.
Oh, of course, I'll wait backstage. I am, great having on. I'll be on some of the show a little later tonight. But trust me, this Giants offense is a lot different than last year. And this Giants team is going to be good soon. I have total faith. I haven't had total faith. Brandon, you can be firsthand account. I don't know if you can or cannot. I'm pretty sure you can. Us Giants fans, we haven't had faith in a draft where we haven't been confident in our draft in years. We look at this draft, we know the Giants did well last year's draft. The only pick that really stood out to me last year from day one, and some other players have stood out after, was Azeez Ojulari. Or in the past, I love Andrew Daniel Jones. Was he drafted too high? Yes, he was. Should maybe they gone Josh Allen, DJ? Yeah. But when was the last time all Giants fans have been excited about a draft?
Hey, trust me, brother. I know, because I was hosting the draft parties and I heard the boos. And imagine trying to grab a fan to do a live hit and they're booing and all, like at the time of the moment. So trust me, man. I know what you mean, man. And I felt that energy at the draft party at MetLife Stadium Thursday night. Not only between because it was Jets Giants, not only between the Jets fans, but New York Giants fans as well. So there's a whole buzz. Like, that night, this weekend, gave a whole buzz to the city as a whole. And I know we love our blue, but they love their green. But what's better for New York as a whole when both teams are competitive and both teams are making plays? So I know what you mean, bro. And yeah, everyone's excited, man. And you help bring that energy for sure. You popped that whole thing off, bro.
Agreed, Sam. Appreciate you, sir.
Sam. I do appreciate your time, my brother. We're gonna have you on later on in a little while, but thank you so much, man, for your time. And we're gonna get you back on the show for the entire show to break down some stuff too as well, brother. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much, guys.
Anytime. I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Keep it up, Sam.
Keep up. Heck yeah. So I say this, Brandon, man. Wan'Dale Robinson, man. Give me your thoughts. Was that a reach? Give me your thoughts on that player.
Hey, I was elated. Cue it. Cue the
Cue it.
sand face
Cue it.
up
Cue it.
there.
Let's go.
Cue the sand face up there. Because if you
Let's
think
go.
about it, this wasn't a tight end heavy draft, right? So when you're talking about Daniel Jones trying to get the ball out of his hand faster, trying to get him to make reads and that sort faster, who's the closest to the quarterback after the tight end? Your slot guy. He's 5'8" guy. He's quick, cat quick, make you miss in the phone booth, just like Toney. But now you don't have to have Toney in the slot. You can put Toney out there, possibly against the CB2, because you got Kenny Galladay that still commands a CB1, CB2 in that sense. So I was on Twitter, and Peter Schrager, I'm at SNY Studios. We shoot from there. Good Morning Football is they shoot right next to us, right?
Love
Right next to us.
Yeah.
So I see him and Cal Brandt all the time.
Nice.
What about Kay? We're missing Kay though. We miss her.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that situation. When I see those two in the hallway, they always stop and talk. We talk a little bit. Peter Schrager tweeted about how Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator for Kentucky, now OC for the Rams, was Wan'Dale's OC. Liam was Victor Cruz's quarterback in college, but he was my quarterback as well. I went to UMass as well.
Look at that.
So it hit me. Scott Woodard was our quarterback as well, was quarterback with Liam, and and quarterback with Victor as well, was the receivers coach at Kentucky, still is receivers coach. So I'm like, I'm a channel my inner Shrakes.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit Woody up. Woody texts me. I say, can I get a quote from you on him? Woody goes, kid is an absolute stud. Great kid. Best/favorite and smartest kid I've ever coached.
Ooh,
almost
damn.
a football savant. Small in stature, but dog on the field. Game on the line, get him the ball. Nobody can tackle him one-on-one.
Let's go.
I could go on and on about this kid.
Damn.
So like you said,
praise.
that's their Cole Beasley 5.0.
Yes.
That's a guy to where you can get him the ball in space. You think about kick return, punt return. Everybody just keeps saying, oh, he's a gadget guy. If you're a special gadget guy, you're a force.
You're a career.
Guy that can touch the ball and can touch it at 5 yards and turn it into 50. So why would you talk shit about a freaking gadget guy? That tells me you know nothing about football when fans or those type of fans say things like that. Okay, is it a reach? Yeah, but it's not a reach if I'm Kafka, if I'm Dable. If Kafka's used to having a tight end, Dable had Cole Beasley, Dawson Knox, so he had kind of a little bit of a both. Ricky Seals-Jones still has to prove that he is TD1 pass catching full-time TE1. So while you're trying to wait for that, you gotta have different type of weapons for different type of personnel to attack the defense in different ways. This guy, you saw the tape. Give him the ball in hand guy. You need one of those, and I don't think he's a reach. I think they did that for a reason.
I love hearing Brandon break that down. I just want to say that, like, we compare him to Cole Beasley a lot because he's small and it's the Buffalo comparison.
Yeah.
But Cole Beasley has quietly averaged 800 yards over the last 3 years with Buffalo. Yeah. If his name wasn't Cole Beasley and he wasn't this like blonde flowing little white guy, you'd be putting a lot more respect on his name. But like, this kid is a way more athletic and strong version of that. If that's how they plan to use him, he's going to do more with those touches.
And more explosive. Look at Cole Beasley's YPCs. Look at his YPC, his yard per catch.
Yeah.
Well, like, this guy is a guy that's going to go for 5 and take it for 50.
He's explosive, and the fact that you have him and Kadarius Toney, who I still have really, really high hopes for. I know there's some stuff that he's got to get together, but like, I have really high hopes for him, and I think he's special too.
But does he? But
Does he get his stuff together?
Does he? No, but does he have stuff to get together?
No.
Like, does he?
I think this is all blown by the media, man. I really think
Like-
the fans are just elated with the media. You know what I mean? Like I
We
think they're
talked
really
about
just
this,
taking a
yeah.
little breadcrumbs, and they're just like, well, yeah, he got to be that way. Or maybe because I said this last season too when we drafted him, he has that southern southern slang, that draw that people can't understand up here in the East Coast. So they already thinks like, oh, it's a bad guy. I don't understand what he's saying. No, he's a good kid. The background he has is a good kid. He never got in trouble. Honestly, there's no red flags. This got to stop. Like literally, the kid's a good kid. If he didn't show up there a couple of days of OTAs or whatever the kid, which is voluntary. Let's make this clear. Other players have contractual agreements to be there, and plus, some players do like to go away to their old schools and train as well. There's nothing wrong with KT. There's nothing to get together.
Let's say this.
I'm going on a tangent.
We talked about this previously. If KT balls out first game of the season, nobody's gonna give a hot damn about the fucking OTAs that he missed. Nobody's gonna give a shit.
No one gave a shit about him.
Cole Beasley's a rapper. Cole Beasley's a rapper.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Cole Beasley's a
Nobody
rapper.
talks about that.
Listen. Cole Beasley was talking about vaccinations and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, come on,
It's just
come on.
It's just one of those things, man. Like you poking the bear right now because y'all know y'all are going to get a response out of me for that. Like, it's. I need everybody to sit there and reflect on it. Like, reflect on that.
Reflect on what I just said.
Like reflect on what I just said. They know what they got in that kid. They know what they want to get out of that kid.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's something to where, which no one knows why he missed it, it could be for whatever reason, but everybody thinks just because Young Joker is a rapper, it means that he's not focused about that. I reached out to his trainer. I reached out to his trainer a bunch of times, like, man, come on, New York Post Sports, man.
Kentucky dude?
Like, I want to talk to you. Yeah, Western Kentucky dude. Because remember the videos last year where KT was running around, everybody's like, you don't get in breaks like that. He don't get no receiver comes out like that, and then he's cutting everybody out. He
made Diggs look stupid.
He got Diggs look turning around and all in that sense. But then it's like, oh, look at that. No, he was training for that during those videos.
Big facts.
Yep.
But you got a problem with them because you don't understand him.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand him.
Yep.
And not every superstar or big personality has to want to talk to the media. I can give you Bill Belichick type answers in a Southern accent. Leave me that alone.
Facts.
Yo, killed it.
Facts.
Absolutely true.
Facts. Yo, like it just kills me the fact that they pile so much on this kid, and we're in a new age now. Social media is taking over the world. I didn't grow up with it. You know, it came into as I was growing up. But you have to understand, this is what kids look towards to. Is the social media. That's their outlet to talk and etc. Just because and I'm gonna age myself. Just because I'm a little bit older doesn't mean I should understand where they're coming from. This is their technology. This is their fun. So just because you don't understand it doesn't mean that this is a bad guy. You just gotta bring yourself down a little bit. Bring yourself back down into reality a little bit, and put yourself in that shoes. And this is the therapist Eli talking that I go to once a week. All right? But you got to break yourself down and take yourself out the equation and look at that person's equation and understand and try to get where his mentality is. So all the negativity, miss me with that, man. Let this guy go out there and play. He's a young kid, man. You know what I mean? But that's.
Listen, let's we can get into KT all day long. I got the big question for you, Brandon. Year one. Who makes the bigger impact out of our first round picks? Neal or Thibodeaux? Thibodeaux. Sorry.
Thibodeaux.
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 What you got?
That's a great question.
What a gun to your head.
I think Neal, man, because if you look at, the inconsistency we got at the right guard last year, like just think of the videos y'all were posting on social media about the inconsistencies at right guard, last year. So when you look at some of Saquon's runs and all to that right side, he didn't feel, super comfortable to that side. So I look at that guy as being a day one starter, an instant upgrade to that side. So that's at least to me gives him a shot No one's in his face when he's getting the ball. And then, at the same time, still has to be that level of accountability to where it's like, all right, there's a couple times you saw it, didn't trust it, should have hit it, but you don't, but there's a reason why he didn't trust it in that sense. You can never tell a running back what to see with his eyes and what to trust because he's the one that's back there taking the licks. But I just see that as an instant upgrade. So, I'm hoping Thibs gets, double-digit sacks and all. But at the same time, I just look at that Evan Neal, not only as a pass blocker, but just a run blocking presence. I think that's an instant upgrade.
Yeah. I totally agree. Jeff, what do you think? What do you got?
I'm going with Neal. I mean, I know the edge rusher is the sexy pick, but if you've watched the last decade of Giants football, there's nothing sexier than a good O-line in my eyes right now. And that's I've been missing that more than anything else. Give me the right tackle. And, we have a lot of guys that they picked up in free agency and draft to let them compete their ass off and put a good line together. And there actually looks like there's some depth right now. I kind of like that they picked up the two guys from North Carolina, guys that already know each other, play together and stuff like that. I think that matters too. But I just love that they actually made that he fell to us. We were ecstatic. The video is out there today of us reacting to that pick. We're out of our mind. And Thibodeaux was like a surprise that he got to us too. But give me Neal because the offensive line operating correctly is what's going to make Daniel Jones pop. It's going to make Saquon pop. It's going to make these wide receivers we just talked about for 20 minutes. It all comes down to the O-line. So give me Neal for making the biggest impact because that's points. That's how you win games, and I'm with Brandon on that one.
Okay.
And let me say this: Evan Neal, I think it can have the biggest impact because I think we just saw what Nate Solder went through at right tackle, right, guys? That's all we got to say. Let me keep this short. We saw what Nate Solder could do at right tackle. So Evan Neal got to be the guy that's going to make the huge impact, in my opinion. I think it's a tremendous upgrade, huge upgrade, and without a line and winning in the trenches, can't get a playoff. So I'll keep it short and sweet. Evan Neal. Yes, I'm excited for Thibs, but it's Evan Neal for me, man. Hands down. We've seen poor O-line play.
Spiro, give us Thibs and tell us why, Spiro. You got to go against the grain here.
All right, yeah. So I'm going to say Thibs because, listen, we haven't had that guy that can close out a game. How many close games have the Giants lost over the past 2-3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Call whatever you want.
Almost all of them.
Now you have Thibodeaux on one side, you have Aziz on the other side. That's going to free up Leonard Williams to do his thing too. So it frees up everybody, and the secondary is not guarding people for as long. I think Thibodeaux is going to be a game changer. Even if he has 8 sacks, I think he's going to cause so much pressure and cause some more mistakes. How many times we see it in Dak Prescott just sitting in the pocket, waiting for things he's just chilling there, eating his burger, having a beer, just chilling out. No longer will we have that. We have Aziz. That my man Aziz looks like an Adonis. He put on NFL weight this offseason. Yes, he looks dope. You got Thibodeaux on the other side, Roach backing him up. Leonard Williams gets freed up. It just frees up everybody. So I think Thibodeaux is going to be the impactful guy. I mean, you guys are really right though. Neal is going to open up everything, but I'm going to say Thibs. I'm going to say Thibs to be that other guy. All right,
let's do it. So a lot of undrafted free agents. Being one formerly of yourself, Brandon London, is there anyone that you like as far as this year's draft that is undrafted free agent that the Giants may have that excites you?
Damn, I didn't go that deep into it. I'll see them when I get
hold off on that.
I'll see them when I get to Quest Diagnostics, man. I wasn't gonna go read up.
Let him get his eyes on.
I wasn't gonna read up on everybody. Like once
I feel you.
When Paul Schwartz and those guys start writing about them, then they I'll be like, that guy. I gotta plug New York Post right there, man.
Yes, good one. I like it.
So, Brandon, I want to ask this. This is off subject, man. I want to ask this, brother. How'd you know Corey Clement wasn't going to be the guy, man? How'd you know? It's like last season when we had him on the show. He was like, man, he was like, we all love Corey Clement.
And he said no, Booker, right?
He said Booker. Maybe? So I'm telling you, it's going to be Booker. And I'm like, man, how the hell? There's no way. I was like, there's no way in hell, Brandon London. Of course, he's the football player, guys. Of course, you know what I mean.
knows.
So I was
He
like,
knows.
nah, it's got to be Clement.
I saw that training camp, man. I saw that training camp just when they were doing one-on-ones or they were doing one-on-ones in terms of like running routes against linebackers and like Corey Clement, like he didn't Booker
pop.
was actually he didn't pop. Booker was making some catches. It wasn't anything like super explosive or anything, but Booker was making the catch and all that. I just saw Corey Clement was just, it wasn't what Booker was doing, and I knew with a healthy Saquon, they weren't going to get it. They weren't supposed to get a lot of carries, so it didn't matter in that sense. Who could get out there and catch some passes and all in that sense. So watching that at camp, Booker just popped a little bit more, at that time than Clement did.
And who would have thought that Booker would have had better numbers than Saquon when the year was over, man? Holy shit!
Yeah.
I hope Saquon bounces back, man.
Yeah, it's just one of those. It's another one of those. He and Daniel Jones are just in those effort moments of their careers. Effort, just go do it. Just go do it.
Speaking of that,
Dave said it.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, he came out and he was like, one thing, and someone else said it too, like the worst thing that the last coaching staff did was made Daniel afraid to throw interceptions. And Dave was basically saying, go out there and sling it. Like, go kill it. Go. You have nothing to lose. And he's literally playing for his life now. He's playing for his career. So go ahead. Like the guy can throw the ball. Like, sling the thing. Give your receivers a chance. That's what they're there for. They want the chance to go get the ball. Go give it to them.
You got to keep in mind that's a lot easier for us to say on live on a podcast than it is to where you make a mistake and then you got all of MetLife Stadium just booing the F out.
Yeah, I hear you.
That can kind of play with your next decision. Like, not everyone just walks around with that Kobe Bryant mentality where it's like, I'm gonna still shoot that shot at the end after I've missed 50 shots or something,
Right.
So it's one of those things where for him to play like that, he's going to have some sort of success early in that sense,
Eli, what you think? I got to hear from our boy again, and I hope.
Which one? I'm sorry. My apologies.
It's okay.
My apologies, man. You got to hear from Sam.
I need Sam back. I need Sam back in my life because we're coming up on an hour. We got a few more minutes, but I got to have Sam back in the building.
Absolutely. So, guys, this is the part of the show, man. We've been through everything. We covered every nook and cranny. But at this point, man, I want to throw something out there. When you Google Brandon London, a couple of things come up, guys. And we want to have some fun. This is New York Revival, where it's all fun. Jefe, do you have it queued up here? Do you have it queued up for us? Let's see if you got it queued up.
Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
So when you Google Brandon London, there's a couple things that come up, guys, that we're going to queue up for you. And we're going to have some fun here because Brandon London is a great guy. We talk sideball all the time and funny as hell, man. He cracks jokes. I love this guy. So while we queue this up, man, I think Brandon has some explaining to do. There got to be some backstory to this, right, brother? So give it a couple seconds here, and we're going to talk about it. We're gonna really... And right now you look kind of worried, brother. I don't know. You look worried here?
I don't look. Everything on Google, like I stand by. So let's go.
All right, let's see this.
Right, so let's take a look and see. Hey, there it goes.
Yeah, look at
See
this.
that right
This
there?
guy's just pimping it right now.
You see that right there? A lot of cats are lucky I didn't have Instagram back then. Because some of their girls would have been married right now.
Yes.
So I modeled my rookie year. I modeled. I was walking in a club. It was called Plum. It was a Monday night. I was with Plax and all those guys, and we're walking in. Some lady stops me, and she's like, "Hey, like, blah blah blah. Like, you had a good look. What you do?" I'm like, "I play football. I don't even model or anything like that." So she's like, I want to do some test shots for you, and I want to introduce you to some agencies and stuff. So we took some test shots, and then they gave it to a Boss Modeling Agency, was like a top men's modeling agency at that time. So guy, like the head booker at that time, like, he was like, we need to get some type of like, sexy shots with you football player, blah, blah, blah. Some, all right, whatever. I go to, that's when the Skeebs were, equipment guys. They've been there for a long time. They let me get, this is off season. I get some of my, equipment. We go into the rooftop. It was like Midtown and all. We go into the rooftop and like, there's like, it's like a whole party, like, it's like a whole like vibe up there, and drinks, women, like all that, and like I'm just taking shots in front, like shots and for like front of all that, and all that in that sense. So we did those. The other shots you just posted, that was the test shoot that got me that shoot.
Damn, look at you.
So that was the test shoot that got me that shoot. So it was one of those things that let me, I did BET Rip the Runway twice. I did Function Fashion Show. I was the face of Academics clothing line in the spring of 2008. I walked in the Italian Week Fashion Show up in Montreal when I played in Canada. I've made hella bread from modeling and all during my time, and that was one of those things that sparked that conversation with Michael Strahan on me getting into entertainment, because I kept asking him, like, man, I'm getting all these things, I'm only practice squad, bro, like what do I do? Do I pursue it? Coughlin's not one of those guys. And he was just like, look, man, you always got to take care of football first, in that sense, because it just makes it that much easier for you to get into that. But at the same time, these cats running 4.3s and all that, they won't wavy like me, I was wavy before I even had it, like before I had an NFL catch. You know what I'm saying? So when I went down to Miami, I was still shooting down. When I was playing with the Dolphins, we went to the playoffs, had 4 catches against the Ravens. That time by Ray Lewis got up in every face. Like, I've been there too. Parcells, remember Parcells was the assistant GM at that time. He hated that he hated
I'm sure.
He hated it.
Really?
Absolutely hated it that I model. And then I want y'all to do y'all's research now. Go to the Sun Centennial back in 2008. Omar Kelly wrote an article, Brandon London, the model, or something like that. Go look at that, because I got in a lot of trouble because I shot BET Rip the Runway during January after we lost to the Ravens. But it aired, it was live to tape. It aired in March when we were working out and going through all that. So Parcells and them thought I left workouts to go up and shoot a show and all that. And he was like, he came at me like he was really upset about that. Because like, you're drawing attention to yourself. Like, just go play football.
Oh, come on.
I'm like,
Big Tuno is old school.
We shot that in January. Like, no one was they were in Cancun. I was still working out at the facility in January because I was like, I'm gonna eat next 4 catches in the playoff game against the Ravens.
Let's go.
I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna get 100 catches next year. I'm gonna work out. But that was, I spent the weekend up in New York because I was just played up in New York. I model up in New York. It's my second time doing BET Rip the Runway. So, a lot of people try to get me with those pictures and all that, but then I tell the backstory, they be like, it makes sense, B.
It makes sense.
Now, if I can get them damn abs again, I'm gonna take some more like that, Sam. They gonna love me out here, Sam. They gonna be on me, Sam.
Sam,
I can't. I eat too much steak, bro.
And that is the backstory, Brandon London. There's no perfect way but to end that, man. That's great to end the show with. But guys, thank you so much for your time, Brandon London. Sam Prince, thank you so much. And this is your Tuesday New York Revival, man. I'm your boy Eli Rax, a.k.a. Vibes, and I'm here with my guy, Mr. El Jefe, and Mr. Glass Half Full.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Can I shout out my brother real quick? Win
What's
wide receiver
What's
coach.
up?
He gonna be a receiver coach for the Giants one day. Don't
Let's go. Hey, does he have social media? Give his ads, man. Let people follow
social
him.
media? Coach M.
Shoot.
One more time. We lost the audio.
Wait.
We lost the audio.
Brandon.
Sorry.
Unmute the mic. Unmute the mic. Unmute the mic. Yeah, hit the mic button. Unmute it. There you go. Oh, hit it again. Hit it again.
Junior.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
What's your social? What's your ads, brother? Yeah, we can hear you now.
There we go. There we go. At Coach London Jr.
All right.
All right, let's go. Y'all know where to follow him. Make sure you hit that button.
All right.
On behalf of the guys of the Revival, we thank you so much for your time. Y'all be well. Bless.
Thank you, guys.